Hey crafters, this is Nye here. So today what we are going to do is we are going to assemble our 3D tombstone box. I'm going to be using my art glitter glue here for all of my gluing. And I also have my bone folder here that I will use to help me score my score lines and make sure that I get them nice and defined. So first thing is first, as you can see, I've got all of my smaller pieces here. I'm going to put these off to the side. Normally I would do them first, but I think I'm going to focus on just getting the shape done first. All right, so I'm going to start here with the base, and this is the one that has the largest amount of score lines on it. And what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to begin to fold some of these score lines and get them nice and defined here. And so I'm just bending along this, I'm folding along the score lines, and these tabs here, these are small enough that I'm just going to use my finger. But once I have them folded, then I'm going to come back in with my bone folder and just kind of really get them nice, sharp, and crisp here. Now, there is a box in the center that's full of score lines. So you can see it right here. We are not going to fold that. That is just there to kind of help us when we go to connect the box that's actually going to go inside of the tombstone part. That's going to be like our guideline there. So that one is not going to get folded. All right, so I'm almost done with this one here. And I think that was it. And all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fold everything the opposite way. And then I'm going to begin my gluing. All right, so here we go. Everything's almost in that right direction there. All right, we're good. Okay, so I'm going to start with my little side tabs here. And I'm using my art glitter glue. I can't remember if I said it, if I was using what I was using or not. But it's art glitter glue. So I'm just going to do these two little tabs there. And I'm going to fold the paper up and then just connect it on the one side. And I'm going to hold this for just, a couple seconds here and just give it a chance to bond and to seal. You can already see it kind of came off there. So I'm going to hold both sides here. I'm going to hold this one up too, hold this one down and push this one down. I'm going to do the same thing here on this side, just kind of holding it together. That one really kind of came off, so I'm going to add a little bit more glue again. And then just press and hold it. And if you have any seeping glue, just wipe it with your fingers, it's okay. If you're using art glitter glue like I am, it's going to dry clear, so there's no worries. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to this side and to this side right there. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just press it up and then just kind of hold it together. So you can see it's kind of like just a little tiny box here. I can't really see what's happening though. So I'm going to come in on this side here and just put my hands on the inside and just give it a chance to fold right there. Okay. So once you do that, then you can really see the shape starting. I'm going to hold this part too. And then all I'm going to do is add some glue right here, whoops, and then right there. And then just pressing everything down. And then I'm just going to wipe away what's the excess that came out there. All right, so you can see it. This will be kind of like the bottom of the tombstone part there. Okay, so let's do the box that's actually going to sit on top. And so that's this piece here. And so again, it just has a bunch of score lines, and I'm just using my fingers here because I'm trying to be a little speedy about it. But I don't know why. Well, I guess because I don't want the video to be too long for us. Because it's always more fun to craft than sometimes it is to craft ourselves than sometimes it is to watch the video. All right, so you can see the shape. This is just like a little open square box here. And so I'm going to go ahead again and just add some glue to the tabs and then give it a chance to bond. Okay, and then same thing for the opposite side. All right. And then I'm just going to give it a chance to bond. Okay, so once you have this part, before you go ahead and glue it, I want you to just hold off. So you've got this one ready. It's good to go. Just hold off before we glue it onto this one, because we want to make sure that we're getting the orientation right and that it definitely fits between the two here. Because if it's off, like if you glued it on the wrong side where it's bigger, it's not going to slide in. It's going to be the shorter side here. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this part. And I'm going to grab these pieces as well. And what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to use my tweezers. I'm just going to add the glue directly to this. Not a lot. I'm not going to go crazy far out. Just a little bit of glue. And then I'm just going to press this down right on top here. And that's good. Let me grab this piece with my tweezers here. And just check the orientation and make sure that you've got it right. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. That's good enough. And then just pressing it down. And there we go. All right, and then for the hand, I think I'm actually going to use my fingers for this one here. So I'm just going to hold it between my fingers, add a little bit of glue to the back, just kind of going out onto those fingers as well. And then just pressing it down. Just kind of do your best to line it up right in the middle if you want it in the middle. This would actually have been kind of fun to make it in a different color. I don't know what color you could have used though. But I don't know, I was thinking like a green, but that kind of doesn't go with the green here of the grass that's sticking out, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Okay, so you have the letters. What you can do is you can go ahead and just put them up in a line if that's what you want. I'm gonna kind of do mine so it's a little bit off here. So it's, I don't know, just has a little bit of variation and breaks up the eye a little. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue to the back of this letter. And then I'm going to stick it on an angle and then just put it down. Same thing here with the eye. A little bit of glue to the back. But this one I'm going to line up directly where the hand is popping out. And then with the P, again, a little bit of glue. Get some there. And then I'm going to stick this one on an angle as well. Okay. So that takes care of this part. And then we've got this. So they're going to sit together like this with this one at the back and then this one at the front. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this long piece here and I'm going to go ahead and fold these tabs down. Now you can use your bone folder here if you want. Or you could just use your fingers like I am. I'm just going to open them back up so I can see. And then fold the other side here. And once I have that, now you have an option about how you want to kind of roll the paper. You can use a glue stick like this and just kind of come in right here and roll it in the back. Or you can roll it in the front with your hands. You just kind of want to bend up the fibers and break up those fibers that are inside the paper here. And then just kind of begin to curve it with your hands so that way you can already see the shape forming here. All right. And so once you have it going, what you're ready to do now is just begin to add some glue. So you can kind of add, so I did about 5 there. Only because I know that this edge is straight. So let me do it this way so you guys can see. You're gonna come right up to the edge there and then just begin to press those tabs down. And then when you get to the curve, you're gonna need to bend the paper just a little bit. All right, so that's that part there. I'm going to give it a second to dry right there. And then once you're working with the curve part, I would slow down because curves are really hard when you're trying to get the paper, because most of the time the paper is still straight, even though we've broken up some of the fibers there. It's still really straight and it still wants to stay straight. All right, so I did 2 right there, and then I'm slowing down again. I'm going to do 2 more for the other side. You also want to make sure too, when you're doing this, is that the tabs on this side, overlap them if necessary. There's no rule that says that they have to be touching the piece that you're trying to glue them to. Like, it's okay to overlap them. And then just get any of the excess glue that's coming up. And then, so for this part, you can then just go all the way down. Again, I'm going to do this one first because I'm still on the curve. I'm going to let that piece go before I start. And then for these last 4, I'm going to do them all at the same time. So I just added my glue there. And then I'm just going to line it up. All right. So there we go. And so you can already see the shape there. And so you can flip it over to the other side. And then what I'm going to do now is you can take the top part here and then you can just place it down and you can see how it's going to fit. Okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one all at once. I know. So I'm going to add my glue everywhere here, everywhere along these tabs. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to tilt mine on the side so I've got a good view as well. And then I'm just going to go right there and then just begin to press it down. So I'm going on the inside underneath here. So I can't see my fingers. You can't really see my fingers, but I'm going underneath there. And then I'm doing the same thing for the other side. And just pressing everything down right there. And just really making sure that you're getting everything right at the edge. You don't want too much of the tabs to be visible through the front part here of the tombstone. All right. And so now what you want to do is figure out which way it's going to go. Okay. So you can see one way there's going to be a little bit more of a resistance. That's not the way. You want where it's just an easy slide. Okay. So an easy slide, which is going to be this way. You'll be able to tell. Mine seems to be hitting the tab. So which means that one of them is sticking up a little bit more than it should here. So I'm just going to go in, really make sure that all of these are down. So that way it doesn't really get caught there. All right. There we go. That's better. You can tell. I knew that there was something off with it. Okay. So this is the way. And so I've got the bottom here. And what I want to do is I want to take this part and I want to glue it right here into where that score line is on this part of it. Remember I said we weren't going to do anything with it. It was just there to give us a guideline. And so that's where I'm going to glue this one down. So I'm going to take it out like this, hold it here so I don't lose that orientation. I'm going to add a bunch of glue right here. That was way more glue than I probably needed there. And all I'm going to do is just kind of line it up right inside the center here. And so you might be able to see it doesn't, this box doesn't fit right up to the edge. Okay. There's probably about 1 centimeter or 2 where there's room for it. Okay. And so then you have it like this. And then you can just slide this part right on top. And then there you go. You're good to go. And so you can fill it with something if you want, or you could just leave it like a hidden treasure kind of thing or something. Like a key. I don't know. Have fun with it. All right. So be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and happy crafting.